What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I'm going to talk about why every man needs a mission, right? And if you're watching this, right, maybe you lack a mission, maybe you don't have a direction yet, or maybe you just never had one, right? You always hear like a cliche thing about goals, right? But maybe you don't understand the importance of it. So I'm going to tell you the really big importance of why every man needs a mission, right? And that's the thing. I don't want to sound cliche about it. Like I kind of have to start it that way, but I promise you it's like not bullshit. Like there's some real stuff behind it. I did some thinking about this. It came up to mind. And the thing is, when you have like some sort of mission, right? You're far less likely to deal with, like people's bullshit, people's manipulation, people's drama, people's negativity. You're less likely to deal with that. You're less likely to tolerate it. You're not going to tolerate it at all, right? Because this is what you have to remember, right? Regardless of whatever human I'm talking about, I'm talking about every single human being, right? Because it's just human nature. Everyone acts on their own self interest. I'm going to repeat it again. Everyone acts on their own self interest. If you've read the 48 Laws of Power, I always reference this book. There's a law that talks about appealing to people's self interest, right? When I did sales, it talks about basically, they didn't say it, but that's basically what they indicated. Appeal to someone's self-interest, right? Everyone has their own self-interest, right? And the thing is, if you don't focus on your own self-interest, right, people will pull you into theirs. The thing that I really loved, this is another YouTube channel, First Man, right? First Man YouTube channel. He once mentioned selfish men succeed. And that makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. It resonated to me because it's just like it's true. Because if you're not prioritizing yourself, right? If you're not being selfish with your own things, you invest in yourself, you invest in making yourself better, right? If you're not doing that, then you're gonna let the selfishness of other people take over, and that's when it throws you off of your game, right? But with a mission, you're more likely to be selfish but for the betterment of yourself, right? So selfishness is not always the worst thing, right? And the thing is about having a mission is that it allows you to set some sort of boundary in place, right? Because when you have your own priorities in place, right? You have your own priorities, family, friends, women. They you can, if they don't comply to your boundaries or they cross any sort of boundary, you there's going to be consequences with it. And I know this sounds very unfair. I know some people are going to be like that's too harsh, but it has to be that way because if it's not that way, if you don't put any boundaries in place or there's no consequences to actions, what's going to happen is people are going to keep stepping all over you. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep disrespecting you. They're not going to respect you, right? And they're going to also assume that you don't have respect for yourself. It's subconscious, right? People are going to get away with what they can get away with. So if you don't let people get away with it, like if there's consequences to their actions, you're more likely you're more likely going to walk away, right? They're more likely going to be in check. They're going to check their behavior. They're more likely going to be like, okay, I need to behave well in front of this person because I'm going to lose him, right? And that's the thing. I notice like with many people, they fear losing, like they fear like offending like someone close to them or losing them, right? They fear it, and I get it. It's loss aversion. It's a very it's part of human psychology, and people are scared of loss aversion. They're scared of losing more than gaining, right? It's a primal thing, like, which is understandable. But if you have a mission, you're more willing to go lone wolf because at the end of the day, you're not lone wolf because you have your own purpose, you have your own mission, right? And that's what's going to keep you company is your mission. And you might get to the point. You'll probably get to the point that you're going to prefer to be alone so you can focus on your mission more than socializing, right? And that's the thing, right? This affects you psychologically, having a mission, right? A strong mission, first of all, it's going to change your mindset, right? It's also going to affect your subconscious behavior that other people are going to be able to read, right? So it's naturally going to weed out the energy vampires, right? Because the energy vampires aren't going to like what you're doing, or you're going to sense it. You're gonna set boundaries, and they might get offended by it, and you're gonna be like, okay, fuck them. But that's the thing. It's gonna weed them out, and that's what you want to do. You want to weed out the wrong people from your life, right? And I'm gonna give you a couple examples, right, of things that might weed people out. Say you have a habit tracker, right? Which is what I do. I use a habit tracker, and say you have a streak going on, right? You have a streak. You do 30. You did 30 consecutive days of. I'll give you three habits, like working out, um, uh, client outreach for your business, and maybe 30 days of studying Spanish, right? So you have three of those habits, right? And those habits take time and energy, and you've been working in them daily, right? You're more likely going to prioritize keeping that streak alive than keeping an old toxic friend circle or alive. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Another thing is planning, right? Planning every hour, every day, like on Google Calendar. That's something that I've been doing. Um, and yes, there's going to be times you might make mistakes with the timing. You might have to change things. But when you have like your time planned on the calendar, what's going to happen is you're going to prioritize that time with your goals, right? So you're going to see your priorities and what time you have to work on them. So like right now, I have create content for YouTube, right? On my calendar, right? I'm prioritizing this. I'm not watching TV. I'm not sitting at the bar. I'm doing this, right? And that's the thing. Now I have time blocks, right? So people can't waste my time, right? And because I won't let it, because I know I have other priorities I have to do. So people will not waste my time, right? I will not let them waste my time. And the thing is, people may say this is restrictive. I don't think it's restrictive. I actually think it gives me more freedom because I can focus on the things that I want to work on, right? And the thing is, I've heard, I don't know if you've heard this saying, but like maybe you're at a place and someone you know sees you and they're like, oh, want to do something, and it's like, oh, I can't. It's like, oh, what do you have going on anyway, right? Like kind of like challenging you. But you could be like, well, I got stuff planned today, so I can't, and then they're not gonna be able to push, right? They're not gonna be able to stop that because you have your own focus, your own mission, right? The thing is, people who are aimlessness, right? People who are aimless with their goals, their purpose, those are the people who are easy to manipulate. They're like, I don't know. Yeah, let's yeah, I'll go. I'll do whatever you want to do. I'll let you waste my time. Like that's it. Naturally happens. But when you have time prioritized during your day for your purpose, you only have limited time and energy for that. So you're not going to waste it on bullshit. You're not going to waste it on the wrong people, right? And the thing is, it's naturally going to make you having a mission's naturally going to make you more selective, right? When your purpose comes first, right? Nothing's going to stop you. Nothing's going to stop you. That's going to be your mindset. Nothing's stopping me from achieving my goals, right? Yeah, that's what you're going to be telling yourself, right? And the thing is, anyone who wants access to your time has to add value either to you or you and your goals, right? And of course, I'm not saying always to your goals because maybe it's an old friend and they add value because they make you laugh, right? You guys joke around together. They have very good vibes. They have very good energy. That's different. That's a form of value within itself, right? But you're gonna want to spend time with people who make you feel good, who are pleasant to be around. That's valuable, right? And the thing is, having a mission, it makes you naturally just selective with everyone that you meet. It makes you like filter out every person that's there, right? Every person that's in your life. And the thing is, you're gonna be more willing to make sacrifices, right? You're gonna be more willing to change, right? And that's the thing. You can have everything, but you can't have everything at the same time, right? So I'll give you some examples, right? Say you want abs, right? You're probably going to have to lay off the beer and the pizza if you want abs, right? Say you want productivity, right? You're probably going to have to cut off the video games, right? Because you're not going to have time for it and it's going to be too distracting, right? Say you want new skills, right? Say maybe you want to learn digital marketing, or you want to learn AI automation, or you want to learn sales, whatever skill, right? Say you want to learn a new skill, right? Then you're probably going to be using your weekends for learning, right? And you're not going to be doing any Friday and Saturday night drinking sessions with the boys, right? And that's the thing. When you have a strong mission with a strong why, nothing's going to stop you and it's going to take you far, right? And a thing that I recommend that you do when it comes to this is I would recommend that you invest some time, right? If you don't have something yet, I would invest some time and just some time and energy, like really think about it, right? And just write your goals down, right? Write it on a pen and a piece of paper. And the reason why I say write it on a pen and piece of paper, because it's scientifically proven for you to actually achieve your goals if you have it handwritten down on a piece of paper, right? And I don't mean typing it. Do not type it. I mean write it with your hands, right? And if you don't believe me, I want you to go pick up the book Influence by Robert Cialdini, or you could just even ask ChatGPT. There's a principle called the commitment consistency bias principle of that book, and he talks about it in detail. He even explains the psychology behind it and how it influences people so effectively by just writing things down. So I highly recommend it, and I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care.